New arrivals into Classic Auto Mall. 1967 Chevrolet Camaro RS SS 350 hardtop. Wow, Marina blue over blue with a white convertible top. Striking color combination on this car. I mean, it really stands up tall. Numbers matching, beefed up 350. And the 350 was an optional engine back in 67. So a lot of people went with the 327 because the price was probably a little bit cheaper. And they even could do the 6-cylinder in the Camaros, although I don't know if the RSSS could have been had in 6-cylinder guys. But we see GTs that are 6-cylinders in other makes and marks, so it could be possibly. Numbers matching, aluminum cylinder heads, Muncie M20 manual, 12-bolt 373 posi, miles deep paint, and a near perfect restoration.
I love the headlight covers on the RS too. I mean, to me, that just makes it
iconic. It does. Well, a GTO from the 68, 69 era. It needs to have covered headlights, in my opinion. I mean, people can argue with me, but you can't argue with me because this is my show.
I agree.
So, argue, smargue. How about the 83 Datsun 280ZX Coupe? Cadet blue and silver over blue and silver, 78,000 actual miles, 2.8-liter single overhead cam inline, 6-cylinder, 5-speed manual. It's driver quality. It's not perfect, but that's okay. We like to sell cars that aren't perfect. And the reason is, and that sounds, I know, a funny thing to say. Why wouldn't you sell a car that was perfect? Well, do you want to drive a car that's perfect? Do you want to go out on the street or on the highway or behind a gravel truck or expansion joints on the turnpike or, I'm sorry.
Anywhere else.
I'm starting to get a little angry here. That was the rabbit hole of that. How about the 1924 Auto Red Bug Buckboard?
Yes.
Red and wood over black. Purportedly owned by Lou Costello of Abbott and Costello fame.
Hey, Abbott!
I knew that was coming. How did I know that? Is this the mute button for JR or for my coffee?
No, it's coffee. We can hook it up, though.
2012 AACA National Senior First Place. I mean, for a Auto Redbug Buckboard, that's pretty impressive. This thing is really nice.
I mean, the way to describe this to me, I mean, I'm not familiar with them until I had to write it up, obviously.
Now you better be familiar.
It looks to me like a radio flyer with wheels. Basically.
Without the side pods and just, without the slats on the side.
Yeah, but it's got the same slats going forward. It looks like a sled.
And a horse-drawn, right?
Yeah. No.
These are electric engine.
They're electric engine.
Motor.
Thank you, because there's no such thing, right? And it appeared at the Edison Concours and the Eastern United States Concours appearance. And man, this thing was expertly restored. I mean, this thing, I don't know what they spent to restore it, but it's way more than we're asking for it. I can guarantee you that. Because you think, well, it's just a small this and that, and it doesn't have many parts in it, but all of that stuff just adds up. And if there's something missing that you need, then where are you going to go buy it? At the Auto Redbug store? I don't believe they have those.
No.
Call Mr. Google. Well, that doesn't happen. So, where are you going to find? Who knows?
It's very cool. And they were marketed for young men, actually, to start their driving
career.
But like kids, you know?
And you want them to learn.
There's some historic photographs in our photo set online when you go look at this car, and it's fascinating to see it early.
And it's sitting right across from us. It's just right over there in our main showroom, and it is a unique piece that really draws the people in. And as much as I'd like it to stay here forever, I'm sure a consignor would like it to be sold.
For sure.
And because it was probably tough for him to let it go. It was, it's a neat piece. It doesn't take a lot of space, so it's not like, you're thinking, if I get rid of that, I can get another. No, there's not room for another car in the space that it was probably stored in.
Yeah.
So,
it runs.
And it does run. And the timing's probably right. The market for that might be the best it's ever going to be right now for a number of reasons. Number one, because there is a resurgence, if you will, of electric cars. And a lot of people are talking about electric and hybrid cars, and this one being electric. So if you get a chance, check it out on our website, classicautomall.com. As you can see, all of the vehicles that we talk about. How about the 68 Chevrolet C10 short bed pickup, orange and white, black and white houndstooth interior? Man, this thing, I didn't really pay much attention to it when it first came in, and I looked at it the other day, and I was blown away. It's really nice.
Yeah, it was parked by our studio when it first came in, and we were all standing around it, looking at it.
I don't know how I sometimes miss things.
Well, there's a lot of cars here.
My awareness is lacking sometimes.
Sometimes you just walk right by them.
It happens. And did I see that? I don't remember if I saw that. Did I? But so many interesting cars come in on a daily basis. And then, of course, if I'm out of town for a couple of days, then it's really like, oh my God! Now I played catch up to find out what's.
Plus,
in
they get scattered.
They do.
Around.
They put them away, and then
I have
they're
to look
gone.
it up on where the car
find out what room it's in, and go into that room. And of course, I'm going to be gone this weekend to
Greenwich,
our fun place up in Connecticut.
Yes,
Greenwich, and we're going to go to the Concours d'Elegance up there, and they have two Concours d'Elegances, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. The Saturday one is the Concours de Sport, which is more race cars and fast cars, and then the Concours d'Elegance is more Duesenbergs and.
See, I don't know what's going on. What I know is that how much time do we have?
47 seconds.
We all plan to go. We got four guys going.
Right.
We can all go Sunday.
Right.
And then he tells me that Di Tommaso is Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm missing the whole.
It's going to be gone. It won't be somewhere in the back.
Yeah,
either.
They're not going to leave them out on the grass.
No,
just a few of them.
They got to put the. I don't know,
man.
but
I'm just hoping some of the Mangustas will still be out on the lawn.
They very well could be.
I'll find them. I'll find them. They're going to still be in town. They'll still be in town. Door.
They may be on a reliable carrier's transport heading down the highway. Cletus. I don't know. It's. I would imagine some of them stick around, but I think they're two separate shows. I think one comes and one goes, and that's that. And
maybe I'll go up with you Saturday. And hang out. You
can ride up with me. It's like $1 a mile because the added weight and the fuel mileage thing. Absolutely. Oh, a couple other new inventory items that we've got. The 2005 Maserati Grand Sport Coupe anniversary. Dr. Krantz said something interesting. He's a coupe guy. I'm a coupe guy, much more so than convertibles. I have convertibles, and I like convertibles. You do have. But I really like coupes. I don't know. There's just something about it, the impracticality of a coupe.
Right.
You can't use the back seat, generally speaking. They're not big enough for anybody to sit in. So it's more of a two-seater. How about this Maserati Grand Sport Coupe? Anniversary blue over navy blue and light blue. 38,000 actual miles. 4.2 liter double overhead cam V8. Possibly one of one.
Yeah.
Could be.
Right, because of the white. Thank you. White piping on
the white piping on the seats or something.
Yep.
Yeah. And all kinds of service records. Listen, if you've got a European car, a British car, a German car, Portuguese car, any of these, make sure you have the records, because these things, the pricier they are to fix, the more documentation you need to have to make people feel comfortable in buying the car and knowing that, in a Porsche, the IMS bearing has been replaced, or in, Jaguar, the rear struts, or, there's all the different things that these cars, things that can go wrong.
Sure.
And if you know that it's been addressed already, then you're much more comfortable in spending a little bit more money than you might. So, and this one is really, really, really a fun car to drive. And the blue, that anniversary blue is beautiful.
It's a beautiful car.
Yeah, it really is. And it's a lot of bang for your buck. And that's important in this hobby. Not everybody can afford a $100,000 or $200,000 car, obviously, or even a $50,000 car. Last but not least, the 1962 Chrysler 300H hardtop. I love this car.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I love it. I love it too.
Formal black over saddle, 83,000 actual miles, and I love the names on the Mopar stuff from the 60s and 50s. The Golden Lion 413 cubic inch V8. Dual 4-barrel carbs, A727 automatic front and rear AC.
That's right.
How cool is that?
And the consignor says this might be one of one also because of the rear vents in the back.
Right.
And he couldn't find another one that had that.
Yeah. So it's got an air unit that's in the trunk that blows up off the package tray.
Yeah.
Where we used to hang out on our road trip to Florida, right?
Totally. Lay down there.
We'd lay down there and have,
You can't do it on this one because it's got vents. It's got raised vents. It's very cool.
It's a striking car.
And the back seat is like 2 bucket seats.
Right.
With an armrest. It's
and
so cool.
Yeah. I always loved a 4-door bucket seat car.
Yeah, like the Charger, the 67 Charger, was it?
66, or even like Suburbans and Tahoes and stuff with the center seat. Sometimes they'll have a bench seat, but sometimes they have the 2 captain's chairs.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They're so cool and comfortable. And so, all right. Did we talk about this last week about the cancellation of the Malibu? We did, didn't we?
Oh, we may. No, I don't know. I wrote it into one of the, because we took in a Malibu, but I wrote it into it. But
that's the only, now the Chevrolet only makes the Corvette because they're discontinuing the Malibu. So it's going to be one passenger car made by Chevrolet, and that will be the Corvette. And I don't know, does Ford even have a passenger car now?
That's a good question.
But what's interesting is that Mercedes and BMW and Volvo and all those others have lots of passenger cars.
Sure.
So are we missing something?
maybe we're getting beat out of the market. I don't know.
I don't know.
Podcast at classicautomall.com if you have insight into the American market.
Yeah, of automobiles are gone, and yet BMW still has probably 20 different models of sedans and coupes, and so does Mercedes.
So Buick doesn't make a...
No, nobody's making cars anymore.
No LeSabre, no 2024 LeSabre or Regal.
So. Or LeSabre.
Yeah.
My mother had a LeSabre. That was the one I drove into Dr. Delogier's house.
Okay.
At 12 years old.
You've been listening to the Classic Auto Mall Show with your host, Stuart Howden.